Hey y'all! So I wanted to drop in and share with you an exciting series that will be dropping here on Instagram. So a few weeks ago, Guy Behind Bars had shared my story of how I forgave the woman who killed my father. And so after that post was done, I received a ton of DMs with you guys being truly inspired by my story. And a lot of you guys wanted to know the breakdown of my full journey and, where it started, building up to where I am today. So what I decided to do is launch a Instagram series where I will be breaking down my story into parts. That way I'm not sitting here and explaining the full journey in like a 2 hour video. I would rather break it up into parts. That way you guys can kind of see the transition from where it started to where I am today. So what I'm hoping this will do is continue to inspire you guys and hopefully motivate you to start your own forgiveness journey. So I want to go ahead and go into part one today, and then each week what I will go ahead and do is release a different part of my story. Okay, so where did it all start? So me and my brother, we had an amazing childhood growing up. Like we had the two-parent household, we had like the picture perfect family. And I would have to say that all changed July 20th, 1998. I was only 9 years old at the time, and I remember my mom woke me and my brother up. It was probably like 2 o'clock in the morning, and she said that it was an emergency and that we needed to get to the hospital as soon as possible. And I vividly remember us driving on the highway. It's pouring down raining, and we finally make it to the hospital, and we're greeted by a chaplain and a doctor. And they probably spoke to my mom all of 30, 45 seconds, and then they immediately took her into a separate room. And I had later found out that she was identifying my father's body. So at that time, he had already passed away due to one gunshot wound to the chest. And I remember when she left the room, she gave me this motherly look of, how am I going to tell my two kids that their father is gone? And it wasn't until we made it back home and she sat me and my brother down to explain what had happened. And I kid you not, the last memory that I have of that night is me, my mom, and my brother literally crying ourselves to sleep. And I would have to say that was probably the first pivotal moment in my life, losing my dad, who was my best friend and literally was a piece of me. And so that is pretty much what all started for me. That was what I consider my pain chapter. And so I'm gonna go ahead and end part one here because I think that's a good ending point for like where it all started for me. And what I'm gonna do is release part two next week.